Look at my face, I'm so broken out. It's awesome. I can't reach my camera, but I kind of want to record this. And now we're driving. Maybe I'll record whenever I get there. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I have been downing this triple shot energy and I'm still so tired. I'm going to take my GED right now. I don't even know if I mentioned that. I'm going to take my English and Science GED, which are the two easiest ones for me at least. But I just wanted to document how I'm feeling before and how I feel after I take the test. I look like an absolute mess. I'm wearing a great testing outfit. That was super serious, no sarcasm there. I'm not even kidding. When you go and take tests, you want to be extra super comfy, period. Anyway, I just stopped and got snacks. I got goldfish and a protein bar because I do get a 10-minute break in between. I'm really nervous, really anxious. I had so much anxiety last night, which is probably why I'm tired. Even though I went to sleep, I didn't really get that good of sleep. And yeah, I'm like 2 minutes away and I gotta like go ahead and sign in and stuff. It takes a while to do that apparently. So I'm gonna be doing that. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Holy crap. Good morning. I'm going right now to take my last 2 GED tests and graduate high school. Cross fingers. I woke up super late. I went to bed super late. The thing is, on test days, you're supposed to get a good night's sleep and make sure you get your full 8 hours, which I never, ever do. I don't know if it's this, I mean, it is the stress of the test, but I feel like the fact that I am like, okay, I have to get a good night's sleep tonight. I never in my entire life, tax test, STAR test, I've always stayed up almost all night, just not being able to fall asleep. So, I didn't do that. I stayed up till like 2, but I had nightmares all morning. And they were pregnancy nightmares plus test taking nightmares. If you guys don't know, pregnancy nightmares aren't necessarily about pregnancy, but they're very vivid and often. So I literally woke myself up 3 different times because I was crying. Like I was crying tears and I didn't know it. And I woke up and I was just like, oh my god, like it was so terrible. We're gonna run to the gas station and get some coffee so I can get a little bit of zing in my step. This test is literally in 20 minutes. I'm 15 minutes away, so we're going this morning, y'all. Not ideal for the morning of a test, but you know what? I know what I'm doing. I'm confident. Yeah, let's make it short and sweet so I can get to this on time. Okay, bye. Holy. That was a lot more exhausting than my last 2 tests. My head hurts. I was really scared when I was taking the math test, but then, you know, you can flag questions for review so you can go back and look at them. And then whenever I was doing that, I started kind of figuring out what I wasn't understanding before, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I have a lot of confidence about my math test. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one I was most nervous about, but I'm pretty confident. My history test. Oh, now there were a lot of questions on the history test that were super easy. Like they were economic questions, government questions, reading and comprehension, not really like hard history questions. I don't know how to explain it, but there were some on there. There were a lot that I marked for review and I went back and it was just like 2 of the answers were looking so good. I was like, dude, I literally don't know what to do. I'm confident. I did good. It's okay. I did good. I know I did. I was just really concerned because when I went back for the review for both tests, I changed a lot of my answers and that's something that I do not do. It's not good test taking, but I just felt like I knew the right answer, so I had to change them. I couldn't leave the answer wrong. Oh yeah, and then secondly, I don't know if I mentioned this, I brought a snack and a water. So I take 2 tests at a time, and in between the tests, the last time I did this, in between the tests, I wanted to eat a snack, and they thought that was really weird because they didn't even have a place for me to like put that. So they ended up letting me go back to my car and eat a snack. And like, I grew up doing test skills. Like my school was all about taking tests. If you have a 10-minute break in between 2 extremely long and gruesome tests, the best thing to do is take that 10-minute break, use the bathroom, drink some water, refuel with a snack, sit down with your eyes closed for the rest of the time, and then go back in with a fresh, clear mind and finish your test. And even today, this test taking place was so much better. I wish I would have come here for the first test, but whatever, it doesn't even matter. But they didn't even have like little lockers or anything. I like downsized all my stuff so it would fit into the locker, but they didn't have that. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, I just brought this snack and water for in between my tests. is there anywhere I can put it, because I know I can't go out to my car. And she just like let me leave it in the office. Then yeah, I came out in between the tests. I went and got my snack and my water, and she was like, that's really smart to like bring a snack, you know, for your break. People don't do that. I was like, they come in here and sit for 3 hours and no eat or drink anything. Like growing up, like my teachers would literally tell me, even if you're not hungry during your break, eat something. Eat a light snack. Drink a little bit of water. Your body and your brain needs to refuel after sitting there and just Last test, I got the results back in like 2 hours, so I will keep you guys updated. I'm more nervous this time for sure. The practice tests that I bought and took on the official website were just like the test. I got a lot of questions about this. I didn't want to spend $6 to take 10 questions of a test just to see where I was at, but oh my god, was it worth it. Both the practice tests I took told me that I'd be likely to pass, so it was really great to know where I was actually at. But the tests that I just took were exactly like the practice tests. Obviously not the same questions, but same idea, like same concept of things that you needed to know. I'm so glad I took those tests. Otherwise, I would have gone in there and it would have been a lot easier than I expected. But I still would have been like, why was I studying all this shit I did not need to know? So, whew, I'm tired. That was a whole lot. Like, I'm really, really tired. That was just so much more thinking than the English and science. So let's go home and breathe. Okay, hello. Yeah, we'll just take a moment, just take it in. It's my day off, so I had no reason to look cute today. And you know me, promising to get videos out and never getting them out, so I decided to get this one out whenever promised. So we are gonna keep the same tired vibe that we've been having this entire video. I'm in a literal blanket sweatshirt. It's the, what is it? It's literally called Comfy. This is not an ad. Tyler got this for me for our anniversary. It's the best thing in the world and I'm wearing it. So as you just saw, I took my GED test and that was pretty much all of the footage that I got. I was posting on my Instagram story throughout the whole process and I got a ton of questions. I did not realize how many people that followed me that needed to get their GED, needed to graduate high school, and they had no idea how. So I decided to put this all into one vlog and make a little how to graduate high school video. Since I did not record any of my reactions, I passed. Yes, I passed all 4 of my tests. I am a high school graduate. Big deal. It was something that I've been wanting to get done for a really long time, and you know, life happens and I just got it done. Better late than never. I got passing plus college ready on all of my tests, plus college credit on one of my tests. Science, I think. Here are all my scores. I'm not scared to share. I just want to take this time to answer a few questions that a lot of you guys had. I've been answering in my DMs, I've been answering on my Instagram story. So I wanted to get a basic idea of all the questions and just kind of put it into a few steps on how to get your GED. So the biggest question that I got is, how do you get your GED? Where do you sign up for the test? How do you start? It's a very basic question, very basic answer. Go to GED.com. Guys, literally, that is the hardest step, is to take the first step to getting your GED. It's scary. So I know a lot of these questions are from people that have not even just Googled it, because they're like, I don't even know what to look up. Literally, Google GED. First link that's gonna come up is GED.com. That's gonna have all of your information. That's how you sign up. It's where you do everything. It's how you graduate high school, GED.com. Another question a lot of people had is, how much is it? So to get your GED, it's 4 tests: English, science, social studies, and math. Each test is $36. I've been doing math for like a month now, so I don't even want to think about it. It's like $150 altogether. What people don't know is, one, that it's 4 separate tests. It's not one GED test. You don't have to take all 4 tests at one time. If you want, you can take one test. A year later, you can take another test. I wouldn't recommend that. Like I said, it's just scary, and I understand that it's scary, but it's not that hard. I took my English and science test first, so 2 tests at one time, and my math and my social studies test a month later. So 2 tests take about 3 hours. I wouldn't recommend doing more than 2 tests at a time. It's pretty exhausting. They're pretty much the same length as a STAR or a TAKS test whenever you guys were in high school. Also, I'm from Texas, so I don't know what it's called around the rest of the country. But that was another question I got, are how long are the tests? Whenever you sign up for a test, it'll tell you how long that test is gonna take, so you can kind of plan and schedule your test accordingly. I'm not gonna go through how long they all are because that's just too much work for me. Another question people have, which I love this question, is how did you study, or how do you study for the test? So about 2 years ago, I decided to take my GED test, and what I did was went to a study website, and I honestly think it was called study.com. I'm not recommending this, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I did first. It was like $60 a month to access all of the study materials for the GED test from this website. I paid for that for like 2 months. Do not do that. Don't do that. Because what it does is it gives you all of the information that may be on a GED test. So basically all of the core information that you learn throughout high school for each subject, which, if you don't know, is a lot of information, and literally like 25% of it is gonna be on the test that you take. So I studied for 2 months. I did not barely get through any of the material, and I ended my subscription. I was like, I don't even know. I've studied like a couple courses of one subject. So this next time around, what I did was, if you go online, you Google GED, enter subject, 2020 free practice test. So I would literally just take every single test I could find until there were no more free practice tests, and then I was like, all right, I'm pretty much as ready as I'm gonna be. So like I said, I took the English and the science test first. Those are two very basic subjects. You guys know what a reading test looks like. It's gonna have a, whatever it's called, what's it called? It's gonna have a thing for you to read, and then it's gonna have 3 or 4 questions asked about that article. Science test 2 is pretty much everyone's easiest subject, I think. And so there's not really a lot of question of, oh my god, like what pieces of science do I need to study? Because it's gonna be like the basic pieces of all of science, you know? So I will say that worked really well for me for those 2 tests. For math and social studies, I did the same thing, and I had no idea what was gonna be on the test. For math practice tests, it was basic math. I would get like a 90, and then I would go to another website, take another test, and it was full of calculus. I had no idea what was gonna be on the test. There's a ton to math, you know, that I knew it could literally be either one of those 2, but the free practice tests weren't helping me. So on the GED website, you can pay $6 to do an official GED practice test. I recommend taking that before you even study, just to know where you're at then. I know some people taking the GED, they've only been out of high school for a year. Some people take it before they even leave high school. Some people take it 20 years after high school. So it really, you have no idea where you're at until you take one of those practice tests. And it'll tell you if you're likely to pass or if you're not likely to pass, and it'll give you an actual score. My second recommendation after that is to not pay for study materials outside of the GED website. After you take the practice test, and it gives you all the material that you need to study, it gives you options to buy study material and buy study classes from their website or from official study material. And it's gonna be a lot more condensed than if you go to a website to study all the information that you learned in high school. And I'm not sure about the prices on GED website, but I know that it's official, and it's gonna give you a way better idea of what you're gonna be tested on. And then I would recommend a few days or a week before you take the test to retake the practice test, just to make sure that you are prepared. And if you don't want to pay for a practice test twice, I would just do what I did, especially with English and science, because like I said, those are very basic subjects, and all of the free practice tests you find are going to be pretty similar, and pretty similar to the GED as well. That was a very long answer, but that question is something that I had, and it was a big deal for me throughout my entire GED process. The whole studying thing was really hard for me to figure out. Another question I got a lot because of COVID is like, how or where do you take the test, and can you take it at home? So you're obviously monitored because it is an official exam. You're graduating high school from it. So during Corona, you can go take it in person. You do have to wear a mask. You do have people watching you on a video camera the whole time. There aren't like teachers walking around the room, but there's cameras recording your every move. Don't think you're gonna go in there and cheat, because I went to 2 different facilities and they were both very strict on everything. They they made sure people weren't cheating. But because of Corona, you can also take it in your house. I personally don't feel comfortable with someone watching me, even through a camera, in my house. But yes, you can also take it in your house, but you're gonna have somebody watching you through your webcam and making sure you're not, you know, doing things. And the biggest question I got is, how hard are the tests? And you guys know I cannot answer this. I was really smart in school. I was a great test taker. So I feel like I am probably the worst person to answer this question. I wouldn't say they were hard tests. I knew most of the information on the test, and the only reason I didn't know some of the information is because I was out of school for so long. I've been out of school for almost 5 years. So like when it came to math, I would read a question about factoring a linear equation, for example, and it's like, I used to do that like cake. It was nothing. But oh my God, I don't know where to even begin nowadays. So I mean, it really depends on how good you were in school, how good of a test taker you were, and how long you've been out of school for. So study, 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 no matter what. Somebody also asked me if it was hard to study being a mom, and I get why this would be an easy excuse, but I just studied from like 9 to 11 every night, and yeah, my kid goes to bed at 8, so. But 9 to 11 is also my editing time, so that's why I have not been able to do anything online. But now that I'm a high school graduate and I've got this video out of the way, we are back to your regularly scheduled Mama Maddie program. I hope this answered any of the questions you guys had. It's pretty basic stuff. You just gotta do your research, go to GED.com and get started, ladies. It is better late than never, and it's easier than you think it is. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's easy, but I will tell you it is easier and a lot less scary than you think it is. And I hope you enjoyed this video, even if you are already a high school graduate. I love you guys so, so, so much. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, I should say something. Oh, stay smart. That's a good one. All right, bye.